Hey watch lovers, Brad from Brent Miller Jewelers. And today I have for us a few Tag Heuer Monaco models I thought we'd take a closer look at and really just ask you if you were in the market or if you were going to pick up a square case watch, specifically this Monaco, which one would it be? So I thought it'd be fun to put these side by side. It's not very often. Occasionally we'll have one or two of these in stock. I don't think I've ever had three new ones in stock. So I do have three new ones here. I have the crown on the left here on this one, the Golf, and then the blue dial, kind of more vibrant blue dial Monaco here on my right. So these three all new. Again, to have all three of these in stock, I don't think I've ever had three of them. And then if you saw last week, I uploaded the video with this new titanium skeleton. This is a used model that was just traded in fantastic shape. And I really wanted to throw it in and take a look at the skeletonized dial versus the other three dials here that we have, the other three configurations. So I'll go over the specs of these real quick. Again, the specs are almost identical. A few slight differences, and I'll go over those here. So you're looking at essentially a 39 millimeter case across. If you're familiar with square watches, you know they wear larger than the dimensions would indicate. I'd say these almost wear like a 42. But again, 39 millimeters across, not counting the crown. And then you have a case thickness of 15.2 on all of them except the left-hand one here. I measured this one actually at 14.5, so a little over a ½ millimeter thinner. And I'm sure it has to do to the case construction. Well, I shouldn't say I'm sure. My guess is it has to do to the case construction with the crown being here on the left. Again, if you look at it, it's just a little bit thinner. I think visually, again, ½ millimeter is not much, but I did notice it. So when we throw it on wrist, I'll make sure I try to point that out as well. All of them 22 millimeter lug widths, tapering down to 18 millimeters on the leather strap, the newer models. The new models we have in stock. The used one here on this, again, it's a newer model production, but it's used for us. Apologize if I'm confusing you on that. But this one actually tapered down to 19, so 22 down to 19. So just a little bit thicker at the clasp. Again, just a very slight difference. I just wanted to mention. All of them 47.5 millimeters lug tip to lug tip. So pretty compact, which I think allows them to wear reasonably well on a smaller wrist if you're okay with the case thickness. Moving on, you have 100 meters of water resistance, the Heuer O2, 80 hours of power reserve. Just taking a look at all of these here. And I do want to point out the Heuer O2 in these three, the one I'm holding here is the Calibre 11. So again, difference in movement, which again is, I'm sure, part of the reason the difference in case thickness. So some slight differences here. Let me show you case back on all of these. So there's the Heuer O2. So there's the back on all of them. Again, signed crowns, 100 meters of water resistance. The weight on these, all the steel versions here were just right around 124 grams, like 122.8 to 124. So essentially about the same weight on all three of these. And then you had a 97.5 grams on the titanium version. So roughly 30 grams lighter. And price point, the titanium one brand new, $10,750 versus the left-hand crown model here, kind of the more vintage inspired model, $7,800, the Golf $7,800, and the blue one here at $75. So all pretty similarly priced. So stating all that, I just really wanted to put these side by side, let you get a look at the color configuration of the Golf. You know, date windows at 6 o'clock, even on your skeleton. And you can see again, just the more vintage, the kind of more of the matte blue. Even the red itself is not quite as vibrant. Just toned down a little bit, which I actually like. I quite like this model myself. So if you were choosing one of these Monacos, which one would it be? I guess I'll throw these on wrist real quick. I'm going to try not to ramble on too long. Again, and they do sit pretty proud, pretty tall, but if you like a larger watch, you want something different, or you have a larger wrist and certainly don't mind the thickness of these, I think they're an absolute, just a cool piece, something you don't see every day. I will say the weight is very noticeable to me on the titanium, and this one would be my preference, simply just because of its weight. I think it wears, it's easier to wear, put it that way, which is pretty common with titanium watches. Some folks I know like to feel the heft or the weight, but the one thing I do want to point out is I do notice the thinner case profile. Again, 0.5 millimeter doesn't sound like much, but just on wrist, I do feel it. And so on the steel version, as much as I prefer the Heuer 02 movement, I like the look of that movement. Aesthetically, I think I like this dial myself. So again, all great options. Let me hit the lights. I'll give you a lume shot quick. As always, if there's anything I can do to help you out, shoot me an email, brad@brentlmiller.com. And as I get all these here in hand, certainly the lume on the titanium and skeletonized dial version, a little bit different than the rest. So thanks for viewing, and let me know in the comments, which one do you prefer and which one would you take? If you own one, let me know what you own. Thanks for viewing, and we'll see you in the next video.